Motorhome is the first sculpture that I have done in collaboration with my husband, Kevin. I was taking a ceramics class at the community college, and one of the assignments was to do an architectural project. And it was fall, and so my first idea was to do a haunted house. I had made a haunted house in the past, but it was a little bit small. And so for this project, I really wanted to push myself and try to build a pretty big piece. And so I created a template and I cut it out and started putting it together. And it had kind of this, fun, funky design. And then I look across the classroom and I see that one of my classmates is also making a haunted house in very similar style, except hers was way better, honestly. It looked very Tim Burton-esque. So I go home and I tell Kevin, all right, I need to pivot and come up with a different idea for this house that I've already started making. And he thought for a second and then said, I think you should stick a truck on it. And if you know my husband, this would not come as a surprise to you because he is slightly vehicle obsessed. Like ever since I've known him, we started dating when we were 16, and he has always had an obsession with vehicles of all kinds. He was the guy that when we were dating, he didn't have posters of like beautiful swimsuit models on his wall. He had posters of beautiful sports cars on his wall. And he's also a really good artist. When we were dating, he had this sketchbook full of all of his art. And he especially loved drawing like cars and trucks and motorcycles and stuff. And I used to want him to make a comic strip out of these. But anyway, I knew he'd be able to draw a perfect truck for me. Also, side note, when I was thumbing through this sketchbook trying to find these examples for you, I found this love note, this like love illustration that he made for me when we were teenagers. And look at this. This is the epitome of Kevin. This is exactly what he looked like when he was that age. He had like the rocker mullet, cool rocker mullet going on. And he was so funny and charming and cute. And yeah. So I have got to hang this beautiful piece of art in my pottery studio because it delights me to no end. And it reminds me of the history I have with this amazing man and how he can still make me laugh even to this day. Anyway, back to my story. So Kevin created a template for the truck for me. And as I was building it at school, I would take photos along the way and send them to him, and he would mock them up to show me where the details should go, like the door and the headlights and the grill, and then send them back to me. So we were literally collabing in real time, which was really, really fun. And then I added little details like the crescent moon and the cracked door and the mushroom going up through the chimney, just to give it those little whimsical details. My goal with this piece was to have it feel really aged and weathered and rusted, like it had been sitting outside for a long time. I really wanted it to have that vintage charm. And I was able to accomplish that through multiple firings, which is the first time I've ever done that technique. I would just build up the color slowly, fire it, then do another layer of wash over it and fire it again. And so I think it went through the kiln about 3 or 4 times until I finally got it to exactly what color story was in my brain. And I'm super thrilled with the way that it turned out. I made it hollow so that I could put a flickering candle, well, a fake one, but on the inside of it. And so you can see the light pouring out through the windows and through the little cracked door and through the moon window and even through the rolled down windows in the truck cab. I'm really proud of this piece. It was so fun partnering with Kevin on it, and I definitely think that we're going to be doing more. In fact, we already have done another one together. I'll have to show that to you next time. This was the only piece that I had at Silicon Valley Open Studios that wasn't for sale, because come on, there's no way I can sell this piece. It's just too meaningful to me and too special. Right now, its home is on a console table in our living room, and every night we use a little remote control for the flickering candle and put it on a 4-hour timer, and I just stare at it with hard eyes. I think about the little creature that is inside, that's like curled up on his easy chair with a quilt and a cup of tea, and he's reading his book. And I'm just utterly enchanted.